Imagine this: a cold fall evening in the United States. The kind where the air bites just enough to sting your cheeks, and the streets shine with reflections from the streetlights because the rain just won't stop. The whole world feels gray, damp, and strangely heavy. One of those nights when all you want is to get home, wrap yourself in a warm blanket, and let the noise of the storm fade behind a closed door. You hurry down the sidewalk, shoulders lifted against the rain, shoes splashing through shallow puddles. Cars rush by, headlights cutting across the mist. You're thinking only about warmth, about safety, about finally stepping into a space where the world can no longer reach you. And then you see them. In the dim yellow glow of an old street lamp, 4 tiny shapes huddle together, shivering, soaked to the bone, helpless against the pouring rain. 4 small silhouettes, each trembling in the cold, each desperately holding on. They don't speak, they don't cry, but their presence slices through you like lightning. You stop, your breath catches, because you instantly understand one brutal truth: you can't save them all. Your chest tightens as that realization lands. You feel the weight of it, the guilt, the urgency. You know you can only carry one home. Only one life can be warmed, sheltered, and given a second chance. The choice rises from somewhere deeper than thought. This is not a moment for logic. It is a moment for instinct. Your pick, whether you know it or not, is the whisper of your subconscious, a piece of your soul speaking louder than any rational explanation. And that choice is a mirror. A mirror showing the part of you that is hurting, the part longing for comfort, or freedom, or validation, or inner strength. A mirror revealing wounds you may have hidden even from yourself. Today, we're not here to analyze you with boring questionnaires. We're not here to judge or diagnose. We're here to explore. Gently, honestly, courageously. This experiment is inspired by the ideas of Carl Gustav Jung. Not to drown you in complicated terms, but to shine a flashlight into those corners of your heart you haven't visited in years. Corners that hold stories, fears, hopes, parts of you waiting to be acknowledged. This journey might feel bold. It might feel uncomfortable, but it will be worth it. Before we go deeper, take a moment to check in with yourself. On a scale from 1 to 4, how much do you trust your first instinct when making decisions? 1. You analyze everything. 4. You follow your intuition without hesitation. Just drop the number in the comments. Let's see who's here, the thinkers or the instinct followers. When you're ready, we'll take the next step. If, in that moment under the rain, your eyes went straight to the tiny puppy. If your heart instinctively reached for the smallest, most helpless bundle of shivering life, then your choice was not random. It was not simply the cute option. It was a seismic signal coming from the deepest, most vulnerable layer of your psyche. A puppy is the purest symbol of defenselessness we know. A trembling little soul staring at you with hope so big it feels cosmic, and with fear just as vast. Choosing the puppy feels like the kind or moral choice, the one anyone with a heart would make. But what you responded to was not morality. You responded to pain, your own. Carl Jung spoke of the divine child, the source of our joy, creativity, wonder, and innocence, the part of us that sees magic in the world, the part that once trusted easily, loved freely, laughed loudly. But right now, that child inside you isn't laughing. Right now, it's cold, it's drenched, it's scared. Your choice is an act of rescue, not of the puppy, but of the version of you who once felt abandoned, overlooked, or powerless in a world too big and too harsh. This choice almost always reveals a recent hurt or an old wound that never fully healed. A wound connected to trust. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe someone failed you when you needed them most. Maybe you gave your heart, your effort, your loyalty, and someone treated it carelessly. And now, subconsciously, you gravitate to a creature whose love is simple, unconditional, and safe. A puppy will never manipulate you. A puppy will never hide a secret agenda. A puppy loves honestly. Your soul is starving for that simplicity, longing for a place where love doesn't come with fine print. You want to believe again, not necessarily in a person, but in the idea of trust itself. You want to feel safe taking down the walls you've built to protect yourself. You want to feel the warmth of being loved without having to earn it, defend it, or question it. And here's the truth most people never admit. Reaching for the puppy takes courage, because it means you recognize your own vulnerability. You are tired of pretending you're fine, tired of being strong for everyone else, tired of acting like you don't need comfort. Choosing the puppy is you whispering, "I'm hurting, I'm scared, I need warmth." In a world that glorifies toughness and emotional armor, admitting you need softness is an act of bravery. Jung believed the inner child is our potential future. By saving that trembling child within you, you're rebuilding the foundation of your emotional life. You are giving yourself permission to heal. But there's also a shadow to this choice, the part no one likes to talk about. Sometimes, the craving for unconditional love becomes a craving for approval. Sometimes, the desire to save others becomes a way to avoid facing your own needs. Ask yourself honestly, how often do you pour into others while neglecting yourself? How often do you rescue people hoping, quietly, that they'll finally see your worth? How often do you say yes, just so you won't be rejected? A puppy never judges. A puppy will love you even when you're exhausted, broken, confused. And that kind of loyalty can feel addictive, especially if people haven't offered you the same. But you deserve love not because you're useful, or giving, or self-sacrificing. You deserve love simply because you exist. And until you believe that, you will keep picking up puppies, people who take, people who need, people who depend on your kindness, hoping they'll fill the space inside you that only you can mend. Your healing begins the day you stop waiting for someone to save you and decide to save yourself. Be gentle with your inner child. Let them cry if they need to. Let them rest. Let them be afraid without shame. Wrap your arms around that small, frightened part of yourself and whisper, "I'm here now. I won't abandon you again." This isn't delusion. It's inner repair. It's Jungian integration. It's how fractured hearts become whole again. By choosing the puppy, you already made the first step. You recognized that something inside you is still trembling from the storm. Now the next step is to warm it back to life. If, out of all 4 soaked silhouettes, you chose the cat, the quiet, tense, watchful figure, then your choice reveals something powerful, something deeper than vulnerability, something sharper than sadness. It reveals rebellion. A cat under the rain is not tragedy. It is defiance interrupted. A cat doesn't beg. It doesn't plead. It doesn't melt into your arms the way a puppy would. It stands its ground, with dignity even in discomfort. A cat allows help only on its own terms, never surrendering its independence or its pride. So if your heart responded to that image, Your soul is not asking for rescue. It is asking for freedom. You are not saving a helpless creature. You are saving the part of yourself that has been restrained, suppressed, or overlooked for too long. The part of you that used to know how to say no, how to choose yourself, how to live without apology. Somewhere along the way, your boundaries were crossed. Maybe gradually, maybe violently, but crossed nonetheless. Perhaps you've spent years being the reliable one, the caretaker, the peacekeeper, the person who adjusts, compromises, bends, and absorbs, and the world got used to it. Your time, taken, your energy, drained, your needs, muted. Your yes became expected. Your no became non-existent. And now your soul, the part Jung would say lives beneath layers of persona, beneath the mask you wear for society, is clawing its way up, demanding space, demanding breath. That inner cat is tired of being domesticated. Choosing the cat means your subconscious is whispering, I miss myself. I want myself back. Because the truth is this, you've been too accommodating, too patient, too understanding, too willing to sacrifice your peace to maintain someone else's comfort. A cat would never do that. A cat has boundaries that are non-negotiable. A cat knows when to walk away, when to protect its space, when to bare its claws if necessary. And your soul is asking for exactly that level of self-respect. This choice signals that you've been living inside a role for too long, a role society praises, the good friend, the reliable partner, the dutiful worker, the person who's easy to be around. But underneath that mask, Jung called it your persona, you feel suffocated. You feel unseen. You feel like you've become a watered-down version of who you truly are. Choosing the cat means you're done with that. You're ready to shed the costume. Your soul wants authenticity. It wants to act from instinct, not obligation. It wants to choose itself even if others call it selfish. It wants to stop living for applause and start living for truth. And yes, there is a shadow here too. Cats carry secrets. Choosing the cat may mean you're carrying parts of yourself that you keep hidden from the world. Your desires, your opinions, your anger, your oddness, your intensity. The forbidden parts. The parts you don't show because you fear judgment. You aren't saving the cat to protect it. You're saving it because it reflects a truth. There's a part of you that refuses to die, even after being pushed aside again and again. This inner cat wants permission to exist, to stretch, to take up space, to be exactly as strange, fierce, quiet, moody, creative, or unpredictable as it truly is. And you know what? You deserve that. Your healing begins the day you stop apologizing for being yourself, the day you stop shrinking, the day you stop giving explanations for your boundaries, the day you stop choosing peace over your own self-respect. Choosing the cat is the beginning of emotional rebellion. It's the moment you realize, I matter too. My needs are real. My boundaries are sacred. This is not a gentle path, but it is a liberating one. And it will require courage, because people who benefited from your softness will resist your strength. But don't let their discomfort stop your growth. Your inner cat is waking up. Let it stretch. Let it reclaim the territory of your life. Let it teach you how to protect your space with quiet, elegant confidence. You're not becoming harder. You're becoming whole. If your heart went not to the puppy or the cat, but to the old dog, the one lying quietly, soaked, tired, with eyes full of stories, then your choice is one of the heaviest and the most heartbreaking. Because choosing the old dog is choosing your past. Not the joyful parts, the parts that ache. This old dog doesn't cry for help. It doesn't plead. It doesn't demand. It simply exists in its pain, with dignity, with silence, with a kind of resignation that hits you straight in the chest. And if that's what you gravitated toward, your soul is carrying a weight that has been ignored for too long. This choice reveals deep emotional exhaustion, not the everyday tiredness you sleep off, but the kind of soul tiredness that settles into your bones. It tells us, you've been loyal, you've been dedicated, you've given more than most people ever saw, and somewhere along the way, your loyalty wasn't honored. Your sacrifices weren't recognized. Your devotion was taken for granted. People may see loyalty as beautiful, but loyalty without reciprocity becomes a wound. And that wound is what you saw reflected in the old dog's eyes. This choice often comes from those who were betrayed by someone they trusted, abandoned after years of giving, overlooked despite loyalty, or left carrying responsibilities that were never theirs to bear. You poured your heart into people, relationships, careers, dreams, and were left with silence, disappointment, or injustice. That's why the old dog calls to you. It represents the you that stayed too long, the you that kept trying, the you that believed promises others broke, the you that fought quietly while no one noticed. Jung once said, "We are not what happened to us. We are what we make of what happened to us. But right now, what happened to you still hurts, still holds you, still drains you." Choosing the old dog means there is a version of you lying somewhere inside, exhausted, unheard, undervalued, a version of you whispering, "I tried, I gave everything, and I don't know what else is left." You picked the creature that stopped expecting kindness, because a part of you knows how that feels. This is not weakness. This is not pessimism. This is unprocessed pain. You are carrying an emotional history that wasn't honored, a past full of broken trust, responsibilities you never asked for, efforts that went unnoticed, battles you fought alone, and endings that left no closure. But here's what makes your choice so profound. You didn't walk away from that old dog. You reached for it. You looked at the most tired soul, and you chose to care. That means something incredible. You are ready to face your past, not run from it, not bury it, not pretend it doesn't hurt. Choosing the old dog means you're ready for healing that requires softness, forgiveness, and release. And yes, the path ahead has 2 steps, both difficult, both essential. 1, forgiveness for yourself and not for them. Not to excuse the people who hurt you, not to erase the betrayal or the losses, but to free yourself from the chains of what they did. Anger is a poison that only circulates inside your body. Letting go is the first breath you've taken in years. 2, reclaiming your loyalty as a strength, not a burden. Your loyalty wasn't the mistake. Your devotion wasn't the flaw. The mistake was giving it to people who didn't know how to honor it. Your loyalty is noble, it is rare, it is gold. But gold in the wrong hands gets tarnished. It's time to place it where it belongs, with you and with those who have earned it. Choosing the old dog means your soul wants rest. It wants peace. It wants to stop fighting battles you've already won. It wants to stop proving your worth to people who can't see it. And most of all, it wants to be held without needing to be strong. This choice is the beginning of acceptance, the beginning of letting go, the beginning of honoring your past instead of being imprisoned by it. You don't need pity. You deserve respect for everything you survived. And now, finally, it's time to give that respect to yourself. If, in the middle of the storm, You chose the wolf pup, the trembling creature that doesn't trust you, doesn't understand you, and barely even understands the world it has fallen into. Then your choice is the rarest, the boldest, and also the most misunderstood. Because the wolf pup is not a domestic animal. It isn't a symbol of sweetness or loyalty or quiet wisdom. It is a symbol of wildness, a symbol of raw instinct, a symbol of a self that refuses to be tamed. And if you reached for that, even knowing the danger, even knowing the fear in its eyes, then your soul is reaching for something you've been suppressing for years, something primal, something powerful, something the world taught you to hide. The wolf pup doesn't trust you because it belongs to the wilderness, and that's the part of you that's calling for help. Your shadow. Not the evil or dark part of you, the way people misunderstand Jung's theory, but the part of you that you pushed down to survive. The part you hid because someone told you it was too much, too intense, too wild, too strange, too emotional, too ambitious, too free. Choosing the wolf pup means your real self is suffocating under the weight of expectations. Your instincts have been silenced for too long. Your creativity has been caged. Your fire has been dimmed. You have been trying to be civilized, predictable, appropriate. You've been trying to fit into a world that was never designed for your kind of soul. And now, the cage is breaking. The wolf pup is terrified in the city because it was never meant to live there. Just like a part of you was never meant to live by other people's rules. You chose the wolf because you don't feel like you belong. Not in your social circle, not in your job, not in the roles you've been forced to play, not in the image others have built around you. You've been acting, performing, adjusting, but inside you, something has been growling. You've been living too much in your head, not enough in your instinct. You've followed logic, responsibility, expectations, when your heart has been begging for something real, something wild, something alive. You're tired of being good. You want to be true. You want to be whole. You want to be powerful in your own way, not the way society approves. Your anger, your passion, your intensity, your hunger for authenticity, these are not flaws. They are the teeth of your inner wolf. But because you've been suppressing them, they turned into doubt, anxiety, burnout, emotional numbness, or sudden bursts of rage that scare even you. This is your wolf hitting the bars of its cage. Choosing the wolf pup means your healing won't come from comfort or softness. Your healing will come from reclaiming your instincts, listening to your body, honoring your truth, and reconnecting with nature, creativity, movement, and freedom. This is not the path of the caretaker or the peacemaker. This is the path of the creator, the rebel, the visionary, the wanderer, the leader, the force of nature. Your soul is done playing small, done being polite, done hiding. You are not here to follow. You are here to lead, even if your leadership looks different from what people expect. But here's the most important part. You are not meant to tame your wolf. You are meant to integrate it. A suppressed wolf becomes destructive. An integrated wolf becomes a guide. Your wildness is not a threat. It is your compass. Your intensity is not a flaw. It is your power. Your too much is not a weakness. It is the truth of who you are. Jung called individuation the courage to become yourself. Choosing the wolf pup means you are ready, finally, to face yourself fully. Not the version others applaud. Not the version that keeps the peace. But the version that was born to carve its own path. This is shaman energy, artist energy, revolution energy. The energy of people who change their lives and the world around them. by refusing to live behind bars. The wolf pup is scared because its world collapsed. And maybe that's how you feel too. Lost between who you were told to be and who you really are. But here's the truth. You didn't save the wolf pup. You recognized it. Because it is you. Now your task is not to domesticate it, not to suppress it, but to strengthen it, heal it, and set it free. You are not meant to be tamed. You are meant to be whole, no matter which creature you pulled from the storm. The trembling puppy, the defiant cat, the weary old dog, or the wild, terrified wolf pup. One truth remains. You were never choosing an animal. You were choosing yourself. Every figure in that rain-soaked scene represents a psychological fragment within you, a living part of your soul waiting to be acknowledged. And each part is valid. Each part is human. Each part deserves recognition. Let's bring it all together. If you chose the puppy, you chose your inner child, the part of you longing for trust, safety, warmth, and unconditional love. You are seeking gentleness. You are seeking connection. You want to believe in goodness again. This is the part of you that still aches, that still hopes, that still wants to be held. Your healing begins with self-compassion. If you chose the cat, you chose your freedom. The part of you tired of being controlled, used, or expected to be the good one. Your soul is begging for boundaries, autonomy, individuality. You don't need approval. You need authenticity. Your healing begins with reclaiming your voice. If you chose the old dog, you chose your past, your loyalty, your sacrifices, your heartbreaks, your exhaustion. This part of you carries the weight of everything you survived. Your soul wants rest. Your heart wants forgiveness. Your healing begins with release. If you chose the wolf pup, you chose your shadow, your raw power, your instinct, your creativity, your wildness, your truth. You are ready to break out of the life you've outgrown. You are ready to become who you were always meant to be. Your healing begins with courage. The courage to take up space. The real message. All four live inside you. You are not just one of these creatures. You are all of them. Inside you lives the child who wants to trust, the rebel who wants to be free, the loyal soul who wants to be valued, and the wild force who wants to rise. Harmony doesn't come from choosing one part over the others. It comes from accepting that you are complex, layered, and multifaceted. You are soft and fierce. You are gentle and storm-born. You are tired and courageous. You are wounded and wild. You are human. This experiment wasn't meant to judge you. It was meant to reveal where your deepest emotional need lies right now. Do you need comfort? Do you need boundaries? Do you need closure? Do you need freedom? Whichever animal you chose is the part of you raising its hand and saying, "Please, see me." And you did. By choosing it, you honored it. You acknowledged a truth that has been waiting far too long. That's the beginning of healing. That's the beginning of integration. That is Jung's entire philosophy made simple. Wholeness is not becoming perfect. Wholeness is becoming yourself. The final invitation. If this journey touched something inside you, if a part of you felt understood, seen, or softened, the best way to support this work is simple. Subscribe, like, comment your choice. Tell us which creature you saved and how the explanation resonated with you. We read everything, every story, every reflection, every vulnerable moment you share with us. Thank you for walking with us into the rain tonight. Thank you for your honesty, your courage, your presence. And remember, even the strongest storm eventually ends. and the part of you trembling in the rain deserves to come home.